You know, I think it's a tradition with our ancestors. You know, you look at in Africa, you know, there are certain trees that have value in the community. And you look at a lot of our communities, traditionally under the tree is a spot where our brothers may gather. They may be playing dominoes or just conversating, but it's like an energy that exists there, you know. Praises due to the Lord, man. That's what it's about, unity, man.
Man, I couldn't wait till you got here. I could not wait till you got here because I remember in my earlier years when I was in college, and I found out that Minister Rodney Muhammad was going to be in Tuscaloosa, Arkansas.
Right,
I remember
right.
I missed class.
You
I missed class to come down there, and then you was like, "You want to open up for him?" I was like, "Man, that's opportunity."
Yes,
and I
sir.
tell people all the time to where each opportunity is your opportunity.
Right.
You have to prepare and study and do your research, and when the time comes, you have to be ready.
Yes, sir.
And don't stutter. Go into it like you have confidence and show that you've been preparing for that moment.
Yes, sir.
And it's like ever since that day, everything else just took off
Yes, sir.
in the upscale.
Yes, sir.
You know, so
You know, in regards to, see, I had forgot that I had offered you to open up there, but it makes sense that because we always taught to prepare a generation behind you know, and there's room for greatness for all of us once we realize what our purpose is. So we always, particularly amongst
is in the age frame, the age difference that we look up to. I like to reflect that individual or individuals as my elders,
yes,
because you walked across the street more than I have. So you know the importance of looking both ways before you cross the street, because you crossed that street many of days.
yes, sir.
Before I was able to cross the street, you was crossing the street while I was still learning how to crawl. So I think the importance of us coming to our elders, us sitting down with our big brothers, you know, because I tell people all the time, it was a time to where our OGs was our fathers. Our football coaches was our fathers. But now people call their OGs the internet.
Right.
You know, so it's like we come to y'all for guidance. Tell me where you went wrong. Tell me where you went right.
Come on.
So I can use your righteousness
Right.
to correct the wrongness, so I won't get stagnant where you got stagnant at.
Yes, sir.
So I can keep going. And it's like when we get the information from my elders, like, you're doing the right thing. That's what you were supposed to do. You know, that's like when I talked to you last night, like, okay, they gave me confirmation
Yes, sir.
that what I was having to put in place through my strategic planning on how to dissolve that issue
Yes, sir.
was the right thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it surprisingly, one conversation solved it all this morning. You know,
Spirit.
so it was one conversation. Hey, brother, you want something to eat? We at Waffle House. Come to Waffle House.
Right.
You want me to buy you something to eat? What you want?
Right.
You know, and one conversation solved it all.
Yes, sir.
You know, so it's like that energy. It's like when I met you all, y'all knew I wasn't registered,
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
y'all treated me like nothing else.
Yes, man.
And the thing about it is, it's like with most religions,
Yes, sir.
is what I see. I sometimes, you know, I gotta say what I see through the view or through the lenses I've been looking at. It's like you have to join before we accept you.
Right.
But it's like I don't like looking at the Nation of Islam as a religion. I look at it as a family.
Yes.
So, you know, and it's like we accept you even if you ain't with us. We still accept you, and we still gonna teach you, and we gonna show you. And it's you know, and then it's just, man. And what most people don't understand, what most people don't know, is that I have more family members in the nation
Yes, sir.
than I do in Christianity
Yes.
or any other religion.
Yes.
So, and that's what I be trying to tell them. Like, you gotta, it's like what they said. Jesus said, I'm trying to find out what my Father put into the prophets so I could bring my family back together as one. But at the same time, society even shows us what happens when we neglect our own.
Right. Let me expound on that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he being taught by Master Farad Muhammad, he said Allah came to give us luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. And we're taught that when we meet a brother, we're meeting a part of God that we've never seen before. We may not know the brother personally, but we know the nature in which God created you, which is righteousness. And so what we want to do is uplift our brothers and sisters in any way possible. So, the Nation of Islam, that's what the spirit of brotherhood is what attracted me to the Nation of Islam. Just the way, like as you just expounded on, when people treat you like you family, and you just met. Right. You see, and that's, when you pass from life into death when you love the brotherhood. When you can have a genuine love for black people to the point that you love them more than they hate themselves. When you can see the so-called least of our people, and then you see them and honor them as a brother or sister, that's when you pass from life to death. Pardon me, from death to life, because you love and honor brotherhood. So, the brother was saying, Islam is not a religion. It's a way of life. And so that's what we want to pass on, a way of life. And so many refer to it as religion. Prophet Muhammad, he said he knew that our people were accustomed to worship, a religion all the time. In his time, his people worship idols, before they became Muslims. And he said, on this day, I have given to you Islam as a religion, meaning this way of life will be sufficient. You don't need no idols or no false gods. Islam, righteousness, is our way of life. Doing unto others, the golden rule, doing unto others as we would have others to do unto us, and wanting for our brother what we want for ourselves. That's what we live by. Yes, sir.
And I'm just honored to be here. I hate the reason being for us having to be here.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, I'm glad it came about for us to have this opportunity to be here, because I knew that, and some people look at it as a community thing. True enough, it is a community thing, but it's way more than just a community. I remember I asked a family member one time that's in the nation. I asked her, I said, it's hard trying to move a community forward, and they looking at you as somebody just coming in and you're not from there. I say it's really challenging because they don't know who I am.
Right.
And she told me, she's like, don't tell them who you are. It's not important that they know who you are.
Right.
Because then they're going to be, some of them might be shocked. And then, you have some that I always think, regardless of who it is, or who he think he is, or who she thinks she is, and that's not necessarily the case.
Yes, sir.
And I tell people, I say, I encourage people all the time, do what you feel is your passion for you to do. And I say, people may not put value on what you do because you're out here doing it. Now, if you were sitting in $1 million office with glass windows and the skylight, then they would say you being funny. Oh, that corporation is doing this and they doing that. But your overall common goal is to help people.
That's right.
And it seems like the ones that have a heart to help people are the ones that get treated badly the most, and get the short end of the stick. Even if you planted your own tree and it's time to cut some wood for hickory to barbecue,
right,
they gonna try to tell you, oh, all you get is this right here. But you did all the work and planted the tree.
But you know what? Even if we do the most work, the only true reward comes from the Creator anyway. Only Allah can truly reward us for the work that we really do. And so, even if we do 90% of the work and those who help us did 10%, we say, look at what we do. And you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he said, this is what's so great about the Honorable Farrakhan. He said he's the type of brother, when he gets you to the other side of the river, he won't say, look at what I did. He'll say, look at what Allah has done. Because with Allah is a true reward, bro. You know, so that's about all I had on this particular topic, bro. That's all I got.
Y'all give a shout out.
Yes, sir. Allahu Akbar. Long live Muhammad.
Captain James.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Y'all for a while. Texas County Study Group. Oklahoma, Texas. That's Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma.
That's right. We'll see you at 500 Reading Avenue. That's our address, Texarkana, Texas. Thank you.
All power to the people. Remember, just because you hold no position in any type of office, your voice still matters.
That's right.
We would not be able to get anywhere if we don't attempt to go somewhere. But we can't go nowhere if we don't go together. So stay hungry and remain humble.
Hey. All right, there you have it. It's on 24 TV.
And not the hustle, cause hustlers never sleep.
I'm so fly, don't wanna lose my crew. Just gotta play it like a G, you're supposed to fly. Don't wanna lose my crew.